I don't know how to introduce this video, to be honest with you, because it's such a weird topic. I'm going to show you a card and we're just going to get right into it.
Okay.
You're going to read this. I don't know if I've shown you this card. I don't think I have.
Wow. You're not going to take me out to dinner? You're not going to say, how are you? How's your vacation?
We're starting the session right now. Get ready.
Okay. Okay, you sent me 2 cards. I need to read both of them just to
the second one is you'll understand why.
Got it. Okay, this is Treasure Hunter Eudora, a 5-mana 4/5 fox pirate with a battle cry that says go on a side quest to discover amazing loot! Exclamation point. Play 3 cards from other classes to complete it. This is rogue, so that makes sense. And the treasure hunt. So I imagine, does this card come into your hand, or is it like come into play?
When you play Eudora, the side quest goes like above your portrait. So it's already in play. You don't have to spend the mana on it. I actually don't even know why it has mana cost, but
so it's kind of like a quest that. You're playing a card that gives you a quest.
Exactly.
Well, that makes sense because it says side quest. Okay. I'm getting it. See, lore, you know.
And
side quest. Play 3 cards from other classes. Reward. Discover 2 amazing pieces of loot.
Okay, so your job, this is why I needed to show you this card first before I really introduce this. This card introduces a whole subcategory of other cards that are from, you remember that game mode you played, Dungeon Run?
Yes.
What if you could use those Dungeon Run treasures in a regular game of Standard?
Oh, some of those were crazy. That'd be broken.
Exactly. So your job is supposed to tell me, do you think this card is worth running in order for you to play some of these treasures? And that's how I had to introduce this video.
So I'm figuring out if Eudora is worth running, and you're going to show me the treasure, and it's like based off the treasure.
Yeah, I'm going to show you 12 treasures that you could potentially get. They're not that intense. Listen, bro, one Yu-Gi-Oh card's like 8 Hearthstone cards. This isn't that bad.
I was waiting for you to say it. Yeah, it's fine.
I will also mention that this card was released during Perils in Paradise, which introduced the set called Tourists. Tourists allow you, if you put the Tourist into your deck, to play the cards of the Tourist class from that set. So for an actual real example of this, if you play the Tourist, I forget what did Rogue have? I want to say Paladin. Let's go with Paladin. I don't remember exactly. You could play all of the Paladin cards in your deck if you're on the Tourist, which means doing this could be a lot easier than you're anticipating, other than like discovering a card from another class or whatever it may happen to be.
Conversely, can you play Eudora in other classes?
Yes.
If they have the Rogue Tourist.
If they have the Rogue Tourist, which I believe the person that has the Rogue Tourist is Paladin. I'm going to hold on. Let me, you know what? I'm going to give you the first card.
The comments will let you know, Rarran. You don't have to look it up.
I'm not reading them. It's fine. Here's the first. You can read that card first while I look it up because I don't remember.
Okay. Looming Presence is a 3-mana, draw 2 cards, gain 4 armor. So for context, when it says you get 2 pieces of loot, you're getting, this is like one of the 2
This is one of the pieces. You know what?
Are they ever... Okay.
I'm going to show you, you know what? I'm also going to show you this because Eudora is not the only card that could do this. For example,
I was about to ask, is Eudora the only card that does this? Yeah.
There's been other cards. So for example, maybe I should show you this one as well, because this one has this. You get the treasures, but it does it a little differently. You can see this card as well.
All right. This is Kazakusan.
Yeah.
8-mana, 8/8 dragon. Battle cry. If you played 4 other dragons this game, create a custom deck of treasures. So how does that work?
So that means if you played 4 dragons, when you play this card, the rest of the cards in your deck are gone. You get to pick 5 different treasures, and you get 2 copies of each one in your deck. So you have a card that you have a deck of 10.
So it just destroys your deck and gives you a new deck of these. Okay.
Yes. Sure. Yeah. So Eudora's in standard right now. Kazakusan was released in 2021, so it rotated at the end of 2022.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you if that one was played. But we'll see if you think any of these are worth it at the end of it.
So another question. In the instance of Eudora's treasure hunt, can the loot you get be duplicates, or are they always 2 different cards?
From the discover option, they will be 2 different. They will be 2 different.
Oh,
options.
they're just
you get to discover 2 different ones. So
I see. He's go on the side quest and discover. Okay, so you get to pick the 2 and then you get them. Okay, great. I missed the discover part. No, okay, got it. Okay.
I will also say with Eudora, you can shadow step it and then replay it to get the side quest again after you complete it once.
Oh, that's cute. Of course, it's Rogue. Why not?
There is ways to get multiple versions of this. You saw Looming Presence. I feel like Looming Presence is just a really, standard card.
I was about to say, like, 3-mana draw 2 is, from my understanding, a going rate in this game. I mean, maybe it's been power crept that is like 2-mana draw 2 now, but you get the gain 4 armor on top of it. I don't think this is like the reason you would run Eudora. Like, maybe it's comes up, but I wouldn't play Eudora just to play Looming Presence, which is it seems to be the thesis of this video here.
Yeah, I figured I would show you that one first. As a Yu-Gi-Oh player, drawing 2 cards is nice. 4 armor is like kind of whatever. For going through all those hoops for a card like this is definitely not worth it. I would 100% agree with that. So
exactly.
we'll continue down this
One
train.
down. Embers of Ragnaros. This is 10 mana. Shoot 3 fireballs at random enemies that deal 8 damage each. Didn't I have this in the dungeon run? I think I might have.
You probably, I think you did have it. Now, in standard, is it worth going for?
In standard, 10 mana to deal 24 damage randomly in 3 increments of 8. Pyroblast for mage is
10 for 10.
Just 10 for 10, right? Okay.
Yep.
So if it's an open board, it's random enemies. I'm just trying to think, like, if you have an open board, it's 10 mana, deal 24 damage, which, could just end the game immediately compared to, like, a fireball. Yeah, it's crazy. Otherwise, it is random if they have... Okay, here's a question. If the 8 damage kills a minion, can the second 8 damage still go after that same minion that's technically marked for... Okay, it can't. Okay. Maybe in, like, older Hearthstone, this would have been better. I feel like now... there's just way too many ways to like overheal or like gain a ton of armor or like kind of insulate yourself from an effect like this. Okay. Not to mention, it's like you have to specifically pick this as well over the other. And granted, I don't know the other options, but
you'll get more context as we continue going, right?
Yeah, I'll get more context as we go. I think it's too slow. I don't think it's enough, to be honest, for standard.
I will say for a lot of these, they might be contextual. Maybe you just need the additional damage for burn. But we'll continue going, and you can come back to Embers of Ragnaros.
Sure.
I think
Maybe I'll reevaluate. Yeah. Dr. Boom's boombox. That's very funny. I wish it was an actual like boombox, you know, that you like hold over. That would have been better flavor in my opinion. But anyway, 7 summit. I just combined. Wow. Summon 7 boom bots for 4. I believe those are... Oh, you sent me that. You're so nice. You sent me the picture already. They're the 1 mana 1/1s that deal 1 to 4 damage to a random enemy. Okay, I remember this from actually playing the game. So at worst, you have... Okay, here's a dumb question. If you have minions already on the field and you play Boombox, you only get until your board is full.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know why you would do that, but it's just a thought. I figured I'd ask. So at worst, it's 4 mana, 7/7 worth of stats that also deal anywhere from 7 to 28 damage. So on average, you could say like 14. Or if you have my luck, it's always going to be like 7 damage. That's okay. I mean, I basically see it's a 4 mana board clear, right? Because it's going to go to a random enemy. It could go to their face, but if you're going to deal for only 4 mana. Let's say your opponent has a board, right? If you send all... Well, these don't have rush or anything, so I guess you have to wait. So it's like a delayed board wipe in that case. Yeah. That makes it a lot worse.
I'm going to give you some context for Boombots as well. The thing about like summoning a bunch of them is that your opponent has to be a little bit scared about AoE now.
Yeah, of course. Because if you AoE it, then it's like... Then it gets out of hand.
It might get out of hand. One of the more popular spells in Hearthstone is Brawl, which I'm sure you're familiar with, which...
Yeah, isn't that like... It's a board wipe... doesn't it keep just like one guy alive or something?
Yeah, one random minion lives from the ball, but that means every other minion's off the board. So that means when the
bots just go face.
Yeah, it can just go face. It can just deal a bunch of damage to your opponent. So there is a lot of potential damage going face with these.
Sure.
The board
and like if the board comes back around to you, it's like if they, let's say on average it deals 14 damage across all 7 bots, then if you also attack with the bots, it's like you get an extra 7 damage out of them theoretically.
Yep.
So that can make the math a bit more favorable. I think this is the best one out of the bunch so far.
Okay, that's fair.
So I'll say that for now. Maybe I'll reevaluate. I'm gonna open a notepad. I'm gonna put Boombots and then
you just type in the chat.
Ragnaros.
Oh,
that's true. We have Discord, don't we? Wax Rager. 3 mana for a 5/1 Death Rattle. Resummon this minion. So it's 3 mana for 10/2?
No, so this minion will have that text box when it comes back.
Oh, so then it just keeps coming back.
It just keeps coming back. Yep.
As long as it has the Death Rattle. So if you silence it, that goes away.
Yeah.
If you shuffle it back into the deck, things like that. Okay, got it. Isn't there a really old Hearthstone card that did something like this? The horse?
The horse. Hold on. I think what it is.
I think there was like a horse that just always came back if it died. I thought it was like a 1/1 horse that like if it died, you just kept resummoning
Dreadsteed.
it.
Yes, Dreadsteed. Yes. That's a 4 mana 1/1.
Right. So this is a 3 mana 5/1. That's God. Power creep, man. Look how far we've gone.
This card, for the record, by the way, would probably be an auto include for like every deck if you could actually put it into your deck. This is very,
because
very
it's
good.
like how prominent are silence effects in standard right now?
Well, that is currently, I would say, like, not very prominent. But again, like, if the meta is revolving around a card like this, you kind of have to start playing some more silences.
Sure. Because the fact that, I mean, granted, it doesn't have rush or anything again, but the fact that it's this thing that can deal 5 continuously over and over again, and if your opponent doesn't have a way to kill it, let's say it doesn't have taunt, so you can go face. That's a big difference. Because if you couldn't go face, that would matter a lot more. Or if you taunted, I mean, you could just do that. I'm basically just trying to think. It's like you have, in theory, it's like you have 5 damage to throw around every single turn.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it.
Indefinitely, until your opponent does something about it. Would I like to have 5 damage every turn that I could throw around? That seems pretty good. That doesn't seem bad. I have to attack with it, so if it's a taunt, that sucks. That's not bad. Okay, what we got next? Clockwork Assistant. 3 mana for a 1/1 mech. Has +1/+1 for each spell you've cast this game.
That is an aura, by the way. So if you cast
Aura, as in, like, if you cast more stuff, it keeps getting buffed.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay. This is weird, because a card like this in Yu-Gi-Oh! Sucks ass.
That's fair.
Because, like, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Stats are just so irrelevant most of the time. Like, the stats only matter to kill your opponent. Like, everything else, like, for the most part, it's irrelevant. I always say they could release a normal, like, a vanilla, like, no effect monster that has 8,000 attack, no effect, and so that if that card attacks, it kills your opponent, right? Straight up. Right. I think if they printed that would see no play. Like, that's how irrelevant stats are. I feel like. Is
there a card that gives you an extra turn? Actually, you don't even need the extra turn in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because you can attack immediately.
Yeah, but extra turns are something that's very rare in our game. There's only like a couple of cards that do it. And even then, there's probably just better ways to kill your opponent than summoning a vanilla with 8,000 attack. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So, okay, so let me think about this. If this is rogue, because this is a rogue guy for the most part, was the legendary a neutral, or was he a different class?
Kazakhstan's neutral. Dora's rogue. I would say dragon archetypes are not for every class, but it is possible to do it for every class.
The only reason I think this card is not bad is because you talked about, in the video we just did, as a matter of fact, you talked about the rogue guy, Edwin. Yeah. Right? This is kind of like shittier Edwin, but like, I mean, it's like, it's different, right? It's not the same thing. Because like, if you're playing rogue, you're playing a lot of spells, because you have Shadow Step, you have prep. I don't know if they play prep. There's like, think of all the old stuff, like Bat Stab, Eviscerate, like all that stuff, right? Like, I imagine there's a high enough density of spells that rogue is playing just to trigger combo, just to do things, right? And so if this is acting like your second copy of Edwin, that's like just a big guy because you're playing a bunch of stuff, then maybe that's okay. I think this is fine. I'm going to pose a question to you. This is probably the worst one I've shown you so far. I feel like you were never in your opinion.
This. I can't. Okay,
I'm trying to like overcook with it.
I will say that I have never seen anybody pick this in all the time I played Hearthstone. Now, here's a question.
I'm trying to convince myself to play it. Well, that's where I'm at.
That's completely fair. Out of the ones I've shown you, it's probably the worst one. Not to say it's a bad card. If this card was in just like the collection, right? Do you think it'd be broken? You saw Edwin already. Well, we talked about Edwin. In the collection.
Like, so if it was just a neutral that any class could play.
A neutral that any class could play.
There was what was the one guy? Questing Assistant, I think?
Questing Adventurer.
Or Adventurer, yeah. There's like him, who like, he just got +1/+1 anytime you played a card?
Yep. So
I mean, this is kind of similar to that, but I mean, Questing Adventurers from like the beginning of the game, so I don't think...
The difference between questing and this card, though, is this is retroactive. So, like, if you draw this on turn 6 or whatever, this could be like a 3-mana 8/8 or whatever. Right. Questing, you need the cards in hand for it to actually become bigger.
I guess you have like the luxury of picking different classes at that point, because then it's like, okay, you can play like Spell Mage or different things like that. But even then, I don't know if that's even worth it, to be honest.
Interesting. See, like this is a card that I think that they could probably print in current Hearthstone and it would be fine. It'd be a fun thing to play with.
Yeah, like I think it's like okay. I don't think it's like game breaking or anything. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're not. This is what are you putting this on your rating, just so we have?
I think I'm putting it below the. I think I was like with you, where I was putting it at the bottom.
Okay, that's fair. Maybe I gave that away, but it's
yeah. No, I was kind of leaning that way anyway. I was either going to put it above or below Ragnaros, but you know.
All right. This is where we start getting a little bit more spicy.
Okay, good. So you show me the bad ones first. Got it. Bubba. 5 mana, 8/8 beast. Battlecry summons 6 1/1 bloodhounds with rush to attack an enemy minion. Okay, yeah, now we're getting to the good stuff. By the way, how is Bubba a loot? Whatever. I'm not gonna get into that. Lore doesn't matter. So when you play this, the bloodhounds immediately attack, right?
Yes, you have to pick a minion for it to attack. If you
you get to pick. It's not random.
You get to pick. So all
That's
6 bloodhounds will attack whatever minion you pick. I am actually gonna
pretty good.
I'm gonna double check what happens if there's no minions on board. I think you still get to summon the hounds. I believe so. Yeah, you get to summon the hounds.
Okay, so you just get them. They just don't do anything. Well, this is a lot better than everything you've showed me so far.
Okay.
I think the bots are still fine, but this, I don't know, this seems really good. Because there's, again, Boomer Hearthstone here. What's the trees?
Force of
trees
nature.
that can attack. Yeah, exactly. That's what this reminds me of. There was like the combo where it's like you summon the trees and then they attack stuff and then like that's how you win.
Those can go face. That's the
they can go face too. Yeah, sure.
That's the bigger.
So that's a difference. That's a big difference. But still, I mean, you're getting a 5 mana 8/8 and then you get technically you're getting a 5 mana 14/14. Even though the 1/1s just die instantly. So it's like a 5 mana 8/8 that deals 6 damage to something. It only attacks one thing, right? Like if the thing dies, you don't get to redirect.
Yeah, you only get to attack one thing, yeah.
Yeah, so it's 5 mana 8/8 kills something, essentially. I don't know. That seems a lot better than everything you showed me, so I'm putting that at the top.
Would you think Bubba would be, this is a legendary, so you can only run one copy of it. You think it'd be played in like a deck if you could just have it in the collection?
If it was just a regular thing you could have in the collection?
Yeah. If you didn't have to go through all these hoops.
It is a beast, so maybe Hunter.
Okay, interesting. So you're not that optimistic it would be Rand if it was just a regular card, but as a treasure, you think it's fine?
Yeah, because I don't know, the card quality of like newer Hearthstone that you showed me just seems like a lot better than this. Like, I don't think this card's bad, but I think the power level, I think, of each card is just so good.
Do you think that the 4 mana Boombot card would not be ran in the deck if you could just have it in the collection?
Definitely not the Ragnaros of the Clockwork, for sure. The Boombox and the Wax Rager.
I think Looming Presence would be ran, for the record, as a card. In some decks.
Looming Presence?
The 3 mana draw to gain 4 armor. In some decks, it might be.
Really?
Yeah, I think it would be
interesting.
fun.
I'm trying to... It's weird because would you really want to play a 3 mana 5/1 that just constantly keeps coming back over and over again? Like, because the issue I see with that is what does the rogue think? It's a 5 cost. Because the concern with the Wax Rager is that if you draw that card late, I feel like it doesn't do a lot. It's kind of like a do nothing thing. The earlier you draw Wax Rager, the better it is, right? Because like if you're dropping that on turn 3 and you basically have 5 damage every turn to play around with for indefinitely, that seems better. But again, like you say, the games in Hearthstone end a lot quicker now, so I don't even know if that's that good, to be honest. Like the game might be over by turn 6 or 7, maybe even earlier, and then all of a sudden you got like what, a little bit of value off of this Wax Rager. Same thing kind of goes for the Boombots, right? That's why I'm not like fully convinced. That's why I'm not fully convinced.
That's fair. That is fair. It's just interesting because like in the context of getting them a treasure, it might depend on what the game state's like. But like if you had the opportunity to put them in your deck, that's why I'm asking the question, and maybe that changes your mind of like how good you think some of these cards are. So it's an interesting thought. I'm gonna ask you that probably going forward for each of these because some of them are very interesting.
Hyper Blaster. For a Hyper Blaster, I would expect it to look a bit crazier. It looks kind of boring. 3 mana 1/4 poisonous, and your hero is immune while attacking. Whoa, that's pretty cool. So basically, you just get to kill 3 things for free over the course of, or 4, excuse me, 4 durability. Yeah. It only costs 3, which is nice. So basically, 3 mana, kill 4 things over the course of 4 turns. Obviously, if they have taunt, then you have to go for that. But like, that's fine. Okay. That card seems pretty good.
Okay, so
I like that. I like it because it's like immediate. Yeah. Like as soon as you do the side quest, you get this, and then it's like, okay, cool. I can immediately play this and affect the board. Where I feel like a lot of these, the big issue is that you play them, they don't really affect the board immediately.
Sure.
So I kind of like this one a lot.
Okay, and I'm assuming based on if this card was just in your collection, you'd run it in decks.
I think especially in like the weapon-based classes, yeah, I think so.
I think
because you're like invalidating every single thing they play after turn 3, right?
This card would be broken.
Think about it, like it's right. It's like turn 1, turn 2. Your turn 3 comes, you play this. What the fuck does your opponent do? You kill their 2. No, I'm serious. Like you kill their 2-drop, right? And then it's like, okay, the next 3 turns, anything you play, I kill instantly unless you have weapon removal. So like, good luck.
Yeah, so
This card's nuts.
This card, so I'm not gonna tell you from just picking the treasure because again, it's context.
Sure.
I would imagine that this is the type of card that if it was in the game, the meta would kind of revolve around it. Like you kind of have to run it. Then you have to run a card like Acidic Swampooze, which does destroy your opponent's weapon. And is that like healthy for the game? Probably not. And that's why it's a treasure. So
that's like the max C problem with Yu-Gi-Oh, right? It's like everyone has to run all these outs to this card, but like just because there are outs, does that mean the card should exist? No, it's not healthy. So like just get rid of the problem card.
Max C. It never leaves.
It never leaves. Right? They actually in Japan just limited it to one copy. So everyone's like, we're getting there. We're making progress.
And they have not said if that's going to happen for Master Duel, I'm guessing, right?
It's at 2 in Master Duel currently. So they're slowly moving it. But they just had a ban list and they didn't touch it on the recent ban list. So who knows? But our other friends across the ocean are slowly getting the Max C ban, so we're happy for them.
Normally North America follows suits anyways, right?
No, I mean it's already banned. It's been banned for us forever, so we don't.
Right. Sorry, in the actual game, okay.
Yeah. All right, Hyper Blaster's broken though. This card's crazy. What do we got next? Canopic jars? Canopic?
Sure.
I think it's Canopic. I'm asking you for pronunciation help. 3 mana, give your minion Death Rattle, summon a random legendary. I'm sorry.
Listen, that's in terms of insults, that's not even an insult. You're entirely right. I don't take anything from that.
Give your minions Death Rattle, summon a random. I'm crying from that. Oh my god. Summon a random legendary minion. 3 mana to give everything the ability to get a body to replace itself. Okay, this is a dumb question probably. The legendaries are locked to the current card pool, right? You're not getting like
that is correct.
Old legendary. Yeah, okay.
Not the class. So you could summon any random legendary.
Sure. So it could be like if you're playing Rogue, it could be like a mage legendary, hypothetically. This one's weird because I feel like may have shown me other cards that have like somewhat similar effects to this. Maybe not like this exact way, but it's like, do a thing and then like you get to get a random legendary minion or whatever. Okay. The problem is, from what I remember and or what you've showed me, the pool of legendary minions is very vast, and some are really bad and some are really good.
Yeah,
and so this card scales with how many minions you have out. So like a cool combo, I guess, is like you play the boom bots and then you play this, and then now does that replace the Death Rattle or does it add it on top?
It adds it on top.
That's so funny. So now you nuke your opponent and then you get to summon 7 legendaries. That's kind of funny. I kind of like that.
Go crazy. That's when like you're picking your treasures, right?
Your 2 treasures.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's cool they have combos like that. But it scales, right? Because if you're only playing like 1 or 2 minions, 3 mana just to kind of let them get new bodies to replace it. That's like okay, especially if you high roll. Like if you high roll, it's crazy. I guess like, can you give me an idea of the average legendary like is the average legendary minion good?
Good is a tough question to answer because a lot of the time you're playing for the effect. And sometimes it's like you need to build around it. I would say that 3 mana to get 3 random legendaries is probably pretty great. Like you're probably happy with that.
It says summon the minion. Does that trigger the battle cry?
It does not. It does not trigger the battle cry.
Okay, so that's kind of rough. But depending on the minion, it may not matter. I think this is fine. I think it's like it scales with like other cards to combo with it. I think it's cute, but I think the problem is there's like some variability to it. But keeping your like essentially giving 3 mana to give everything like reborn, if you will, like that doesn't seem too bad. So I think this is definitely one of the better ones. I don't think it's as good as the Hyper Blaster, but I think this might be my second favorite.
Okay, would you run this in your deck if you could? I'll go into the chat.
I think you could build a deck around this. Like if your deck goes really wide, right? Like if you're in Hunter, let's say, like in Hunter's playing a bunch of little idiots and you play, okay, I'm going to get 7 1/1s on the field and then play the jars. And then, okay, the things all die. Now I just get a board of legendaries. That seems really good in a deck like that.
Okay.
I don't think every deck wants to play that, but I think there would be like strategies that could play something like this that would like want to play it as a card in their deck. Yes.
I won't talk contextually from like Eudora or Kazakhstan, but I think as a 3 mana card, if you can put this in your deck, this might be one of the best cards in the game. Like
really in the game,
because random legendaries, as much as they're not like, you know, you often you want the battle cry or whatever it may happen to be, but think of the amount of stats you're getting from this card, right? And if I just have a bunch of like the Boombots one's an interesting one because if I fill my board with Boombots, even if I get like 3 of these minions, I'm probably really happy with that because. If I'm summoning like 8/8s or 6/6s, whatever it may happen to be, and it's turn 4, like I'm probably gonna win that game. So it's interesting.
I guess my biggest concern is the pendulum swings really hard the other way, because I see
That's
a world
fair.
where you top deck this and like you don't have a board, or you have like one minion and it's like, well, fuck, like what do I do? But I mean, if you're building the deck in a way that you're playing up like a one card, get a bunch of like, you know, small tokens or idiots, right? Then it's probably fine. And more often than not, like it's any card game, right? Like sometimes you're going to dead draw stuff. Like that just happens. So I think you would just build around it to try to mitigate that.
I'm just going to say this, Alex, if you watch these videos, because you might, Alex is one of the game designers I talked to for Hearthstone.
Oh, I thought you meant me.
Oh yeah, your name is also Alex. That's hilarious. I forgot.
Because I'm Simo to you.
A while, yes, that is actually 100% correct. I literally,
That is true.
I go to like, yeah, I'm gonna record with Simo. He's like, my girlfriend's like, what?
Yeah, I'll say that about CGB. I'll say his real name, and my wife's like, who?
Yeah. I mean, you see that's the funny thing is when I meet you at some point in real life, I'm probably calling you Simo, which I think most
No,
people
that's like
would
what
anyways.
all I feel like that's what we do with our other YouTube friends. Like to me, like Voxy is always going to be Voxy, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah, she's Voxy.
It's just
yeah.
anyone like anyone we work with. That's just how it's going to be. Anyway, as you were saying.
Yeah, dude, quick side tangent. When I'm on a call with other people and like they're strictly like, I don't want to call them YouTube business relationships, but like, you know, you're in a call.
Sure.
They call me like, because my real name's Blake. If they call me Blake, I'm like, what the fuck? Like it takes me like out. Like I don't know what to say. What was I gonna say, Alex? If you watch these videos, not you, Sumo. Alex, if you watch these videos, you a while ago did a thing where you introduced Gen and Baku back into standard. That was kind of fun for like a month. You should do this with treasures and just see what happens in a month when we have some downtime before rotation or something. I'd be actually genuinely curious to see. Not all of them. You're gonna see some of them that are kind of insane coming up, but we'll get there soon. Let's start with this one.
Ooh, saving the best for last, huh? I like it.
Oh yeah, I gotta build it up.
All right. Haha, Grimmer Patron. Funny. 3 mana, 3/3. At the end of your turn, summon a copy of this. Interesting. That has like way less combo potential than the other one.
So this one gets a little interesting if you have any buff.
Right, because then it'll copy the buff as well. Again, very like a card that relies on scaling quite a bit. Because I'm thinking to myself, okay, in modern Hearthstone, can you really just... I mean, okay, so end of your turn, it triggers. So like in modern Hearthstone, can you afford to just play 3 mana, 2 3/3s that just keep replicating themselves?
That's a great question.
I mean, 3 mana, 6/6 worth of stats that like basically demand an answer. And especially if you buff them, like you're playing this in, you said you could theoretically play this in Paladin, right? So Paladin has all the buffs. So it's like if you buff it and then it's like, oh, now all of a sudden it's a 3 mana 4/5 or 3 mana 5/6 or whatever. And then it just kind of like keeps steamrolling out of hand. That could be good.
Okay.
Again, it's one of those things where if you see this later, it gets a lot worse. Because if your opponent's already established and you draw this, it doesn't really do anything. Unless you have a way to combo with it. I feel like if you see this very early, this almost becomes like, it's like the game is over. Because if your opponent doesn't have a way to answer it, this just gets out of hand and you just win the game.
Yes.
So
yes.
that seems... Hearthstone doesn't usually like those types of things. But the problem is you have to, you know, you're getting this on like turn whatever because of the rogue thing.
The treasure,
so.
Yeah.
I think if this was able to be played outside of the treasure, I think it'd be really good. I think the fact that it's locked to being a treasure, though, I think it's a bit too slow. Like, when are you actually getting this card, right? Because you play Yugioh on 5, you get the side quest. You still have to play 3 other cards from other classes. So you're not getting this till, like, maybe turn 6, 7, 8. I almost feel like it's too late. So I feel like as a standalone card in any class, this would be crazy. But I feel like as a treasure, I actually think it's too slow.
Okay, so you think this one's just garbage? Okay.
I think it maybe is better.
You know,
see, now that's interesting with the Clockwork one, because the Clockwork you get way later too. So then it has like all the buffs from all the spells you did.
Yeah. See,
I don't know. I'm not impressed with this one.
Okay, that's completely fair. I would say that even if this card was like a regular card in the game, I feel like this wouldn't be that good.
Really?
We have like Rogue right now has a 3 mana combo, summon a copy of this with Rush, and it's a 3 mana 3/2. Yeah, it doesn't replicate at the end of the turn, but you're like answering this and you have the additional Rush. This has to live. I guess in some circumstances, this could be super bad because like you could get to turn 9, buff the hell out of this, and then your opponent has to answer it. Otherwise, the game's just over. But I think at that point, you might just have a better way. Yeah, like there might just be easier ways to win the game at that point. So this one's a really iffy one. Again, like, Alex, if you're watching this would be a really interesting card to see in standard. But I think your analysis is pretty spot on for like the treasure picking as well, because this one might just come too late and it may not be good enough. Okay, we'll go to the next one.
Pure Cold, 5 mana for a frost spell. Deal 8 damage to the enemy hero and freeze it. That's it?
What do you mean?
I thought you were supposed to show me the good ones. What is this?
Wait, you think this one's bad?
Kind of.
What if
yeah.
what if you're rogue, your opponent's at 8 life, you just need 8 damage?
Okay, like you could do that with any other card, but sure, fine.
Yeah, but this is pure cold.
But it's pure cold. It's the coldest of the cold. It's
Wait,
just it's.
You think this was
no,
bad?
it's so narrow. It's so narrow.
Okay, and I'm guessing if this was in your collection, you would not run this card.
I'm trying to think if there's like, because the only reason I would think you would run this in another class is because it's a frost spell. So like in the instance of like mage or maybe death knight, like maybe there's other frost synergies potentially. But even then, like it only does 8 to hero and it freezes it, which is like fine. But if they're not even using a weapon, like who gives a shit? I'm not seeing it. I think this is the worst one you showed me. I can't wait for you to tell me this is the most broken one out of all of them.
No, I think this one is definitely contextual. I think it's important to show you not just like the high rolls, like everything that the treasures can possibly be. I think this one's fine. Like I'm not like super stoked to pick it, but I definitely feel like in some instances the 8 extra damage is actually extremely relevant.
Yeah, like if because you're playing the whatever, the thing that gets this like in rotation. You're playing that on 5. Like maybe the game is in a situation where it's like, oh, if I just get the 8 damage, I kill them. Like, okay, sure, if that comes up, but I don't know. How often is the game going to be in a situation like that, I guess? Like, I feel like it feels like a win more card to me. I feel like if you were in a situation where your opponent's on 8 life and this kills them, you're probably going to win that game anyway.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so like you wouldn't run it in your deck necessarily, but contextually from Eudora, you might pick it depending on what the game would be. I'm assuming.
Right, but I feel like you are only picking this if you like, you know it's going to win you the game. You're not going to pick this unless you see a line to lethal within the time it's going to take for you to actually trigger this. Plus, it costs 5 on top of it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I guess in some instances,
that's the crazy thing about these treasures is that like some of the costs feel like so overcosted for the amount of hoops you have to jump through.
To be fair, these treasures were made like years ago.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Well, Dungeon Runs came out in 2017. Yeah, 2017. So like most of these are from that game mode. So they kind of just translate over because a lot of these are like very iffy of whether or not they would be balanced in the game, which you will see pretty shortly.
Right.
But that's
saving the best for last.
They need to have this variance, because if they don't have this variance, then like Eudora becomes this absolute monster.
It becomes nuts. Yeah, it becomes ridiculous. Yeah, that makes sense. And also in the in that dungeon run game mode, right? Like usually everything you fight in the PvE attacks you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like almost everything. So that makes more sense for that. Okay. Wand of Disintegration. That's a great name. Silence and destroy all enemy minions. Broken. Broken. Insane. Insane. This would be nuts. This would be so good.
Yeah, I think if this was in the collection, this would be an auto include in most decks. This is a very good card. Extremely powerful, especially as a spell. You could do a lot of disgusting things with this. So yeah, 100% agree.
Book of the Dead. This costs 14. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. I imagine there's a reduction somewhere in here. Deal 7 damage to all enemies. Cost 1 less for each minion that died this game. So in theory, this could be a free board wipe that just does 7 to everything. It's funny because I actually feel like the wand is better because you get the silence. I feel like the silence is so important for being able to deal with, death rattles, for being able to deal with, poison, for being able to deal with taunt, right? Like there's so many just like weird keywords that silence deals with that even though this this kind of goes like what I was saying though, where like I feel that all of these treasures are, I think wand is appropriately costed, but some of them feel like way over costed. But book could be free, and that solves the issue because it's like, okay, by the time you get the book's probably going to cost 0 or 1 or 2 or 3, and then you have a board wipe. But it also deals... Oh, no, it's all enemies, so it's just enemy stuff, too.
It goes face.
Oh, it also goes face. Thank you. I missed that. I'm surprised you told me that. It didn't get me.
Well, I mean, I just wanted to, you clarify stuff for Yu-Gi-Oh!
We obviously have reading comprehension issues. Like that.
Yeah, oh, my God.
In these videos.
I have a doctor watching every video to make sure I'm okay at the end of them.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. I don't know. It's just my Yu-Gi-Oh! Brain that the fact that it's silence and destroys is just so good to me.
Yeah,
but I mean, a free board wipe that also just set. Like, okay, why the fuck would you play Pure Cold when you could play Book of the Dead? I'm sorry.
Well,
like,
hold on. In some
We
instances,
have to have the bad cards. We have to have the bad cards.
no, I was
whatever.
gonna. In some instances, Book of the Dead may not be as like an insane reduction. It really comes down to what you're going up against and what you're also
That's
playing.
true. But to be fair, you're going, again, it's like turn 5 to even play the thing to get this into rotation. Then you have to get a couple turns to play cards from other decks to even get to that point. So you're telling me the reduction from this point wouldn't be like at least at or below pure cold by that point? Because it's each minion that died. It's not even your minions. It's your opponent's minions too.
Yep. I mean, listen, you're right. But
Crazy. Definitely. I'm going to put Wand in the book tied and then the Hyper Blaster beneath it, I think.
Okay. That's completely
I just think
fair.
Silence and Destroy, I think, is crazy.
All right, I got 2 more for you.
Okay.
Actually, I kind of want to show you the weapon too. The weapon's funny. But
There's another weapon?
yeah, this one's a little. Well, maybe I'll probably show you at the end of it, but we'll get through these 2. We'll talk.
Krusty the Crustacean. 3 mana, 3/3 beast. Battlecry, destroy a minion, gain its attack and health. That's very funny. The fact that just 3 mana destroy a minion seems really good.
Okay.
I don't think you have like cost, like, because usually I'm thinking like Priest. Priest has like what, Shadow Word Pain? It's like 2 mana or 3 mana, like kill something that's like 3 or less. You know, usually your removal at low costs is very conditional. So the fact that you can just go, all right, 3 mana, bring this thing out, kill anything. That seems really good, just on face. And then the fact that it also gains the stats too seems really good, because then that could be a big tempo swing depending on what it is.
Okay.
I don't know. That seems pretty good. I like it.
Okay. In your collection, I think you're, based on what you said, you're probably gonna add it. But then what happens if you play your Krusty and your opponent also has a Krusty? Then you're cooked.
Because then they Krusty, you're Krusty.
Yeah.
But then you have 2 because it's not a legendary. So then you Krusty.
It is a legendary.
Back.
It is a legendary.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's got the voice.
Oh, yeah, it is. Lame. Lame.
Your opponent Krusty's your Krusty is so funny.
Because I remember cards like the Black Knight saw play just because they killed taunts, right?
Yes.
You know, there's like just basic spot removal that has like even conditions on it saw play. So this card I think would see play 100%.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Okay. I'll show you this one, and then I'll show you the weapon. The weapon's very funny.
Sure. I need to rank this. I think I ranked this. I think I tie it with the Blaster.
Be curious to see what in the comments have to say about this.
Gnomish Army Knife. 5 mana. Give a minion. Oh, jeez. Give a minion Rush, Wind Fury, Divine Shield, Lifesteal, Poisonous, Taunt, and Stealth. And you say Yu-Gi-Oh cards have a lot of text.
That is nothing compared to what you showed me earlier. What are we talking about?
Rush, Wind Fury, Divine Shield, Lifesteal, Poisonous, Taunt, Stealth. Okay, so it can attack immediately. It can attack twice. It's protected from the first hit. It gives you life at least twice. It kills anything it attacks immediately. It can kill 2 things potentially because of Wind Fury. It's taunted, so your opponent has to attack it. And then it's stealth, so they can't even attack it the turn that you play this.
Just seen a minion. Maybe the Grimmer Patron looks a little better now.
Yeah, I was gonna say this on the Grimmer Patron would be disgusting. Without the Grimmer Patron, though, is this good? Is this good? Let me think about this. I'm trying to think of like, okay, so it's stealthed. But if you attack, stealth goes away, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if you attack, stealth goes away. So that could be potentially irrelevant. I'm trying to just think of like the scenarios of, would you just leave out a minion aside from like the patron that just has all this stuff on it? Like you maybe kill something when you play it, or you could just stealth it and wait a turn, and then maybe you set up for next turn to go for lethal because you have Wind Fury. I don't know. I'm just reading this and it's just like, oh, this dies to Krusty. And I'm like, that does not seem good.
Krusty.
Krusty MVP. Yeah, I don't know about this one. This seems just kind of like overkill to me.
Okay. You don't, interesting.
Because like, okay, if this gets, I'm thinking about like a situation. Okay, you have a board, your opponent has a board. You play this, at minimum, you can attack 2 things, gain a shit ton of life. This thing probably survives in most instances. And then on the crackback, if it survives, they have to attack it. And if they attack it with anything, it dies. I mean, it's weird. It's one of those cards where it's like, if your opponent doesn't out to it, you win the game probably off of this. But is it like just too high rolly? And at that point, would you just rather play other things that are better? I'm kind of like middle of the road of this one. I'm kind of middle of the road.
Okay. We'll come back. We'll come back to this one. That one,
will we? Okay.
That one's a very interesting card to talk about. All right.
Okay.
This is the very last one I'm going to show you.
Got it.
This is the only card here that does this out of all the treasures, for the record. What it is there is these two parts. You have to pick them individually. So you like.
Oh, so you don't know if you're getting the second one.
You don't know if you're getting the second one exactly. So one of them
we're playing Yugioh. Got it.
Yeah. Yugioh, you know the parts are in your deck. This one you're gonna. I guess
that's true. Yeah.
You're gonna have to generate this. So you have a 1-mana 2/2 weapon, which is obviously for treasures horrible. Then you have the hilt, which can give a minion +3 throws clear, which is also just absolutely garbage. But if you end up getting both, you get this.
Kel Dalar, 6 mana 4/4. After your hero attacks, deal 4 damage to all enemies. It's got 4 durability, so you get to do that 4 times. That kind of goes back to the Hyper Blaster scenario, right? It's kind of the Hyper Blaster on crack, because it's like, okay, you play this, and it's like, all right, what's your opponent going to do knowing you have this? Because it's like immediately you can just attack into the thing. You have 4 attacks, so you can at minimum deal 8 damage into anything. Not to mention if they summon smaller things too. That seems really good.
Okay. So obviously
but the problem is you need both pieces.
You need both.
The problem is you need both pieces.
You need both.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think that's the biggest issue. There's 12.
I will give you the exact amount. Hold on. I didn't show you every single one.
Oh, okay.
Because I felt like there'd be too many of them.
I didn't realize there's like that many of them.
There's like 30, 31.
Oh, 31.
Just get lucky.
All right, card sucks.
The weapon or like the individual
You have
pieces?
to hit a 1 in 31 and then a 1 in... I don't know if you can get duplicates of the things.
Can't.
But like, you can't. Okay. Wait, you can?
You can't.
Oh, you can't. Okay. You have to hit a 1 in 31 and then a 1 in 30. Are you fucking kidding me? And this is what... If you hit a 1 in 31 and then a 1 in 30, it should say win the fucking game. I'm just saying, bro. Like,
that's
really?
Fair. That's fair. Hey, that's why it's the dream, right? If you hit both, then you get this sick ass weapon. It's so cool. Look at it. Wow.
I'm doing math. Hold on.
The chances of getting it?
Pretty much, yeah. 1 in 930. Yeah, okay.
Just hit it. That's what with Eudora. If with Kazakhstan, because you get 5 options, it becomes a lot more likely.
Okay, sure. But it becomes a little bit better with 5. Okay, no. You know what? No. You know what? Let me think. You get 5 options.
You get 5
I'm trying
options.
to think. So you have to hit you have to hit a 1 in 31. It's 1 in 31 times 1 in 30 times 1 in 29 times 1 in 20. Like it's better, yeah, but still it's not great. It's not great.
Like if this weapon was just pickable, like you'd probably pick it every time.
You'd probably pick it every time. Yeah, I agree with that.
They have to do that. They have to do that.
Have you ever done it?
I've gone it once and I won the game. But
I was gonna say, did you win?
It's off. The other problem is like Kazakhstan, for instance. I'm not talking about Eudora here.
Okay,
Kazakhstan,
sure.
If you got to play Kazakhstan, you probably won the game anyways. Like that card.
That's how I feel about it. Yeah.
That card kind of sealed the deal because you're probably already winning the game and then you get to drop an 8-mana 8/8.
Right.
And like
exactly.
That does nothing, but then it's like the following turns are so good, which is why like I showed you Looming Presence first, because the good thing about Looming Presence is that it guarantees you the draw to get to the rest of your treasures with Kazakhstan. With Eudora, it's not as great because you don't have the rest of your deck as being treasures, but that is an option for Rogue if you need like the survivability. Anyways, back to the original question here. After seeing most of these, not most of them, I'd say like about half of these treasures, because obviously if I showed you everyone, we'd be here for the entire day. Do you think Eudora is a playable card? As in above or lower than 50% win rate?
This is the all-important question that the whole video is led up to. Do I think this card is playable? And you've showed me, okay, have I seen basically the best treasures? And the rest are like mid.
I would say that you have seen a lot of the good ones.
Okay, I've seen all the good ones.
There are a couple ones I didn't show you. There's also bad ones I didn't show you as well. Like the variance is probably right in the dead center.
That's
what
fine.
I went for.
Okay, sure. So do I think Eudora is playable? Is the question.
Do you think Eudora is a playable deck that has above 50% win rate?
Like where people are building around this, like like this is a build around, or they're just throwing it in?
If you're putting, I feel like if you're putting Eudora in, you kind of have to somewhat build around it.
I feel like you have to build around it too. Yeah, I agree. Okay.
So,
Do I think it has over a 50% win rate? Wow.
I'm basing this on current standard for the record.
Sure.
Also, I didn't answer your question. The tourist for Rogue is Mage, which is irrelevant for you, but
I like how you answered that an hour into this video. Thank you.
8 years.
I think it's cute, but like, does it have over a 50% win rate? God, I hope not.
God, I hope not.
Because I feel like that's more indicative of your standard if this has over a 50% win rate.
Ooh, okay. I see what you said. I see what you said.
I'm going based off the context of you telling me like how fast standard is, and maybe it's slowed down since we've last had that discussion. But
we just
I don't feel like the juice is worth the squeeze here, man. Like it doesn't feel like for going through all this effort, and maybe it's not as much effort as I think it is, but it feels like you could just be doing better things. And like there are some like auto win buttons that you could hit off Eudora. Everything else is just kind of like, it's fine or it's bad, but like if you hit your win buttons, cool. Because it seems very Hearthstone-y. It's very Gamba in nature.
Yeah. So your analysis is pretty spot on. Like the card is very fun. It's not playable. Like it is.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Okay. You have no idea how relieved I am that this card is not playable.
Now, I actually legitimately think the problem with Eudora is not the fact that it's hard to actually get the side quest finish. It's the variance of the treasures.
The variance. I think it's too many treasures. Because I feel like even what you said there's like 30. I feel like the 12 you showed me were enough. I thought that was like fine as is.
Yeah, the thing is you get to see 3 options, right, for discovers. So
sure, of course.
You get to see a little bit more.
I guess it's not really a 1 in 930 then, because you get to see 3. So that changes the math.
We got your point, though. Yeah. We got your point. It's unlikely. It's unlikely.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know Eudora is not playable. What about Kazakhstan? Imagine there are enough dragons.
I want to say he's more playable. Not to mention he's neutral. I think that makes a big difference because that means that other classes can take advantage of these. Because we discussed that throughout the whole video. We're like, oh, this card is good in X deck. And granted, it'd probably be better if you could just choose to run it. I don't know. Maybe it's like what you were saying where it's like it's kind of overkill anyway. Or there's maybe just like, if you're going to go this route, you could just do something better for 8 meta. I feel like it's more playable than Eudora.
So Kazakhstan was actually nerfed. This is the nerf version of it.
Really? It got nerfed?
It used to say, if all of their minions in your deck are dragons, craft a custom deck of treasures. That was disgusting.
That sounds crazy. Yeah, okay.
Then it's like, I could just run all spells and just play Kazakhstan that I as long as I find it, and that was very possible, you just win the game.
Yeah.
So they had to nerf it. They had to nerf it. And that's what it is right now.
Okay, so we're right.
It was still a very good deck. The thing
you also never told me about the army knife.
Oh,
the army knife was good.
Army knife is actually one of the best treasures you can get.
Is it really? Okay.
The one benefit, so worst case scenario, literally worst case scenario is you have a shitter minion that kills 2 minions. That's worst case. Best case scenario is you have a huge minion that kills your opponent. And if you have
that's pretty good.
The bigger minion is even better if you don't kill your minion, because all of a sudden you're getting lifesteal times 2. So it's a huge swing that your opponent has to answer. Otherwise, like obviously they just lose the game. In some instances, just putting it on a big minion and stealthing it was enough to win the game as well. Because then your opponent needs a way to actually kill them through Divine Shield, which could be a huge problem. Very good treasure.
Right.
Very, very good treasure.
Okay. Sure.
Very good treasure. Was this fun?
Yeah, this was interesting. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I want them to make Krusty a card that anyone can play, because I think that'd be fun.
I feel like that might be too broken. I think that card's really good. That card's one of the best treasures to pick from.
Aren't you guys complaining that the cards in the new sets like aren't good enough? There you go.
Well,
they printed it.
Listen, there is a limit. There's a limit. We don't want the game to be who
the 3-mana 3/3 crab that kills something on summon. Oh, that's too crazy for Hearthstone.